Hey guys, it's Caleb at Midwest Backcountry. Just wanted to go over some winter boot options this morning. It's been pretty cold here the last couple weeks across most of the country, and I imagine some of you got cold feet just because you didn't have the right boots and weren't prepared for what was coming. So I just wanted to kind of go over what I wear, what I like to use for different conditions. I'm going to start over here on this end with these insulated boots. These are what I wear to go to work in. They're lighter. It's not what I would wear to go out, hunting or anything where I'm going to be out for a prolonged period of time without any type of heat source. They've got 400 grams of Thinsulate. They got synthetic sides in them. They are leather, but this boot just hasn't performed very well for me. I've never got wet in them, but with the synthetic sides in them, they just let that cold from the snow and everything go right through that insulation. Not a great option. I would look for something that is not a synthetic boot if you're going to be out in the cold and the snow. The things you can get by with when it's cold with no snow, you could probably get by with this. If there's lots of snow, a boot like this is going to be a terrible option. If you do have this type of boot and there is snow and that's just what you have, you're probably going to need some gaiters to keep your pants dry, keep snow from getting down inside the boot, everything like that. Next boot we're going to go to is the full leather boot. These Kenetreks are awesome. They're 400 gram boots. They do a very good job of keeping me dry, but much like that boot, if there's lots of snow and you're in the snow all the time, that leather gets wet and then it gets cold. They're great boots if it's dry. If you're in a little bit of snow here and there, if you get an early fall snowstorm and it's not super cold, this is an awesome boot. Once again, we're going to be wearing the gaiters with this boot. But when you're out in prolonged snow for all day, every day, and it's below zero, that's not a great option. For weather like we've had the last couple weeks, everybody from up north, they already know this, but if you're south of Wisconsin or whatever, Minnesota, these are not as common, and it's a good old-fashioned pack boot. When we have prolonged snow and cold, it's the only boot that's going to keep you warm all day out in it. They got the rubber bottom, the leather tops. You oil the tops up good, and you are going to be stay waterproof. Not go wade around out in the waterproof, but for snow and slush and everything like that, you're perfect. When you're using a pack boot, most of the time you'll tuck your pants inside the leg, or down in your pant legs down inside the boot. What I do is I pull the liner out, put my liner on, put my pant leg over top of the liner, and then put my foot back down inside the boot, and then tie it up, and that keeps snow from getting into my foot. You're going to have a little bit of snow build up around the edge up here if you go over the top of your boots, but it's not going to get into your foot and get you wet. You can buy different weight liners. This is a 200 gram liner. This other bigger, taller pair of boots, it's got a 400 gram liner. These are Schnee's and these are Hoffman's. I've had a pair of Kenetreks in the past. I don't know that one is any better than the other. They're all very equal. They're all good boots. They're all going to work well for you. One thing I like about the Hoffman's over the Kenetreks or the Schnee's is that in the boot itself, the Hoffman's have 200 grams of Thinsulate in the boot plus the liner. Whereas in this boot, it's just the rubber. There's no line or insulation in the boot itself. So this is a 12-inch boot, and this is a 14-inch boot. So somewhere in here where you get a 12 to 14-inch boot is where I quit using my gaiters. This is tall enough, or these are tall enough that you don't have to wear the gaiter. I use the boot as the gaiter. It replaces that, eliminates a piece of equipment I have to have. With a 12-inch boot, you could, if you're going to be in super tall or deep snow, you can see how much more protection you get with the gaiter. You could do that. The 14s, and I think Schnee's has a 16-inch top. You definitely don't need to worry about that. You're going to be totally fine with out gaiters on those. Some guys prefer a 10-inch top, and the gaiters. It does save some weight, but I feel like this gives you just that much more insulation protection up your leg. I just like a tall boot when it's snowing and then when it's cold. These are the kind of some of the options that you've got. I don't feel that one option is better than the other once you get into the brands of pack boot. If you buy one of the 3 premium boots, the Schnees, the Hoffmans, or the Kenetrex, you're going to get a premium boot and get premium performance out of that boot. You won't be disappointed. I'm not trying to sell anybody on a certain brand. I just think that a boot like this is the best way to go when it gets cold. You know, we still have a little bit of winter left. Maybe you're tired of the cold feet and you want to get something ordered, or maybe you want to be prepared for next year and you don't want to deal with cold feet again then. So that's kind of my 2 cents on it. Go get yourself a pair of pack boots and be ready to stay warm.